law firm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have one of my paralegals on with me today, Vanessa Cordero, and
Hola.
she is Spanish speaking, and she will be interpreting this live session for us today because I think it's very important that we can communicate and reach to as many people as possible. Thank you so much. I see Rora Tribe, Tia Henry, Scott_Pilgrim, Miss Business. Thank you so much for joining us on Instagram. Today we are talking about the immigration executive order that has just passed, that was signed by President Trump this morning. And so I want to come on here to share with you kind of how this can impact you or your family members as it goes on. So Vanessa, if you want to translate that.
Hola, buenas tardes. Ella es la abogada Judith de Luz de la firma de abogados The Atlanta Family y la Corte de Inmigración. La abogada estará hablando hoy especialmente de la orden ejecutiva que el presidente Donald Trump firmó en estos días.
Okay. So I want to get into a couple of points. The reason that this executive order has come about, according to the president, is because of COVID-19.
La abogada quiere tocar ciertos puntos acerca de la orden que acaba de firmar y qué exactamente y a quiénes va a afectar lo que el presidente Donald Trump acaba de hacer con esta orden.
So the president is saying that, one, it is to protect American citizens so that when the economy does reopen, that they will be first in line for jobs.
El primer punto que el abogado Donald Trump, el presidente Donald Trump sugirió que por qué está firmando esta ley es para proteger a América y en especialmente los trabajos de los estadounidenses.
The next point is to preserve healthcare and their resources.
Y la segunda es para proteger el sistema de salud y sus recursos.
Now, the executive order has 8 parts with several subparts, and I'm going to try to summarize that for you today.
La orden ejecutiva tiene 8 puntos y básicamente es de lo que estará hablando el día de hoy.
So now let's talk about who is excluded as it relates to this executive order. The people that are excluded are essentially all people who are outside of the United States of America that are trying to migrate legally into the United States.
Las personas que están fuera básicamente de esta orden ejecutiva son las personas que están fuera de los Estados Unidos y no les pertenece a ellos.
Hi, Attorney Stephanie Dixon. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. In addition to that, what that means is that there is about 26,000 green card applications that are submitted worldwide to the United States each month. And so with this 60-day suspension that President Trump is putting in place, that is a total of about 52,000 green card applications that will now be stalled.
Básicamente la orden va a durar 60 días, pero aproximadamente las personas cada mes tramitan 26,000 tarjetas para ajustar su estado y casi al año viene siendo 52,000, pero esto solamente duraría para 60 días y no se sabe si se va a extender o no.
Now, here's the thing. Because of the pandemic, immigration has already been cut back substantially. So we're talking about there's already strict border restrictions against the southern border. So that's completely blocked off.
Por la epidemia, básicamente ha bajado todo con esta orden que él está básicamente diciendo que es por la epidemia del virus, del coronavirus.
In addition to that, all visa services, that means all consular processing, all of that has already been suspended because of COVID-19.
También por el coronavirus, cada orden consular, cada visa está suspendido por el momento.
In addition to that, refugee admission into the United States has already been paused.
También las órdenes para refugiados están suspendidas.
So all of this has already been done even before he signed this 60-day suspension into law today.
Antes de que la ley fuera firmada y antes de los 60 días que vamos a tener, todos estos procesos de inmigración fueron cancelados.
Now we can talk about who is exempt, okay? So let's talk about those people. All right, Vanessa. So
ahora estaremos hablando de las personas que sí le concierne esta orden ejecutiva.
Okay. So spouses and minors of U.S. citizens.
Esposos y niños menores de edad.
Healthcare professionals.
Profesionales de la salud.
Members of the armed forces.
Miembros de la Army.
Along with their spouses and anyone entering for law enforcement or national security reasons.
Incluyendo a sus parejas o lo que le pertenezca a esa persona.
Individuals who are applying for investor visas.
Y personas que estén aplicando para diferentes visas.
And special immigrant visas for Iraq and Afghan nationals who worked for the U.S. government.
Y visas especiales como las de Irak y todos esos que trabajen para el gobierno.
So what that means is those people can still come in to the United States over the next 60 days. But if you do not, go ahead.
Mencionando esas personas, eso no importa que esté la orden de 60 días, ellos sí pueden entrar todavía a Estados Unidos.
Okay. So now, over the last month, there has already been several changes in immigration.
Desde hace un mes ha habido muchos cambios en inmigración.
So let's talk about the changes that had already begun. One, postponing immigration hearings.
Hay que hablar de las cosas que sí han cambiado, como es cancelar cortes de inmigración.
So Vanessa is my immigration paralegal, and I can share with you that we have had to contact clients and notify them, those that have been waiting for green card appointments, interviews, those have been waiting for citizenship interviews, all of those have been canceled.
Tenemos nuestros clientes que nosotros tenemos, los hemos estado informando que las cortes de inmigración, si están esperando alguna petición, visa, todo eso ha sido cancelado por el momento.
Hi, Shanique, I see you.
Hi, Shanique.
So, number 2, they have put a pause on deportation flights to certain countries.
Número 2, han parado las órdenes de deportación por algunos países.
They have suspended refugee admissions.
También han suspendido refugiados.
And also, most of the borders for the United States have already been closed.
Y por supuesto, can you repeat that one more time? I didn't hear it.
Most of the borders for the U.S. have been closed. Most of the entryways in any country to the United States have been closed.
Y los portes dentro de México y los que le pertenecen también ha sido cerrada. Las fronteras están cerradas.
So now this suspension goes into effect today is to last for 60 days, is what the president is saying.
Esta suspensión fue declarada el día de hoy y va a durar aproximadamente 60 días.
However, if it hits 50 days, he has the right, with the assistance of Homeland Security, Secretary of State, Secretary of Labor, to make the decision whether they're going to extend the suspension of immigration.
Cuando hayan pasado aproximadamente 50 días y si él tiene aprobación del Departamento de Estado de Inmigración, puede ser que lo extienda para más tiempo.
Okay. So now, what that means is that for the remainder of the time that President Trump is in office, he can continue to extend this executive order and put off immigration, which has always been his agenda from the time that he went into office.
Si el presidente Donald Trump decide extender esta ley, que es como él lo ha hecho en la agenda que él tiene, sí está en todo el derecho de seguir extendiéndola y se quede suspendido todo.
So in 2017, President Trump submitted something called the RAISE Act. He submitted that to Congress for consideration.
En el 2017 el presidente Donald Trump hizo una ley que se llama RAISE y hasta el momento es de lo que vamos a hablar ahorita.
And at that time, it was dead on arrival when it was submitted to Congress.
Y en este momento sería básicamente lo mismo de lo que se está hablando en el Congreso.
At that time, it was very, very less strict in comparison to what we're seeing today.
Pero en ese tiempo era menos estricto que lo que estamos pasando en este presente.
So essentially, President Trump has gotten his immigration agenda to go through because he's using the pandemic to do it.
Y lo que él está diciendo es que básicamente está haciendo todo esto con inmigración por todo lo que está pasando con el coronavirus y es básicamente la excusa que él está utilizando con el virus.
So let's talk about how we can move forward.
Y vamos a hablar de cómo podemos adelantarnos con esto.
Okay. So for the people who are filing for a green card within the United States of America, you are safe.
Las personas que quieren tramitar su tarjeta verde están a salvo en los Estados Unidos.
If you are applying for adjustment of status, you are safe if you are here in the United States.
Si estás dentro de los Estados Unidos y quieres ajustar tu estatus, también estás a salvo y lo puedes hacer.
Now, if you currently have a student visa or an H-1B employment visa, you are safe.
Si actualmente tienes una visa de estudiante o la H1, estás a salvo.
What the concern is that if he continues to extend this 60-day suspension, this is how it will break down. It will benefit Western Europe immigrants the most.
A los que básicamente les va a afectar son a las personas que viven en el estado, parte de Europa.
Okay. So you can, when we talk about Black immigrants trying to come to the United States or Hispanic immigrants trying to come to the United States, it will be more difficult for them. Their petitions will continue to be delayed because consular process is on hold right now. We don't know how long it will be on hold. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Para las personas hispanas o de algún otro país, sí se le va a hacer difícil si están fuera del país con esta orden ejecutiva si dura más de 60 días.
So if you are a green card holder, that means you are not a U.S. citizen, but you are a permanent resident in the United States and you are trying to bring your family over here, that application has been postponed or delayed.
Si eres residente con tu tarjeta verde y estás tratando de traer a tu familia para acá, entonces esa aplicación está suspendida.
Okay. So what essentially President Trump has done is that he has cut 1/3 of immigration. That means 1/3 of applications that are going to be submitted will now be delayed.
Aproximadamente 1/3 de todas las aplicaciones que todas las personas han sometido están suspendidas.
If you have applied for the diversity visa program, which has always been very popular, that has essentially been terminated as of today.
Si has aplicado para la visa de diversidad, que es prácticamente lo que muchas personas ocurren agarrar, también esa visa está suspendida.
However, if you have petitions that are going on currently, those are still going to continue to go on if you are here in the United States.
Si estás en los Estados Unidos y tienes una petición que ya estaba sometida, eso no estaría suspendido, estaría dentro de los que ya están para que lo procesan.
So we have several petitions that we are actually trying to push through as of this week, right, Vanessa?
Sí. Tenemos muchas aplicaciones en nuestra firma que las vamos a tratar de someter para que se puedan arreglar sus casos, sus peticiones.
Yes. And so we have been reaching out to our clients and informing them that this is the time to submit petitions as quickly as possible because of USCIS being closed and not doing interviews at this time, counselor processing being delayed or closed at this time, the petitions that are coming before them are being able to be moved through the process a lot quicker.
Como el departamento del USCIS está cerrado, no están procesando aplicaciones, es el mejor momento. Les dejamos saber a nuestros clientes que metan sus peticiones para que ellos lo procesen mucho más rápido y no sean entrevistados, pero sí hay que someterlas y hoy es un buen momento para ajustar tu estatus en este país.
So what we're seeing is that work permits are being processed within 90 days.
Permisos de trabajo están siendo sometidos aproximadamente en 90 días.
We anticipate that adjustment of status applications, VAWA petitions, R1 petitions, those are all being submitted to USCIS and should be moving through the pipeline within the next 90 days.
Las peticiones de las VAWAs, la R1, también estamos viendo que las están procesando en aproximadamente 90 días.
However, we have several K1 visas that have to go through the consular processing that now is going to be delayed.
Las visas K1, es así, tenemos pensados que las pongan en espera.
Yes. So our position is if you are in a position to petition for folks that are already here, this is the time to do it. If you are a green card holder and you are in a position where you can submit your petition for citizenship, this is also the time to do it.
Si estás en la posición de pedir ajustar a alguien, este es el momento. Si tienes tu tarjeta verde y te quieres hacer ciudadano, este es el momento para poder hacerlo.
Yes. So essentially what we can tell you as of today, and as I reviewed the executive order from beginning to end, what we can tell you is the folks that are being excluded, the folks that are exempt, and what we anticipate is going to happen in the next 60 days. That is where we are at as of today.
En este momento, lo que la abogada les quiere decir es que ella miró toda la orden ejecutiva del presidente Donald Trump y les habla de a quienes le pertenece y a quienes no, a quienes les afecta en esta orden ejecutiva.
So there were two additional issues that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention.
Dos problemas que ella les quiere tomar a su atención para que ustedes sepan es,
as it relates to the stimulus check that is supposed to be going out to families.
Para los estímulos de cheque que están supuestos a llegarles a sus casas.
If you are married to someone who is an immigrant, who is going through the process, you are not entitled to a stimulus check.
Si tú estás casado con un inmigrante y eres ciudadano, ese cheque no llegará.
In addition to that, the other news that has come out this week that is of concern is that if you have DACA status in the United States and you are going to school, you are not entitled to any benefits that are being given out to other individuals who are green card holders or U.S. citizens as it relates to school loans or education loans.
Si tú tienes DACA por el momento, eres una de las personas que tiene el programa de DACA, tienes algún préstamo de estudiante, de lo que sí podemos saber es que no están llegando esos recursos hacia ti si tienes por ahora el programa de DACA.
Yes. And so those are the issues that we're seeing that we wanted to bring to everyone's attention today, because this is very serious. If you have petitions or if you have family members that you have petitioned for that remain overseas, they're not coming anytime soon.
Si tienes algunas personas que están fuera del país por todo lo que está pasando, por toda la epidemia, por el momento no estarán viniendo aquí.
And so essentially, like we stated in the exemptions, if you guys didn't hear about the exemptions, if you are not a spouse or a minor to a U.S. citizen, if you're not a healthcare professional, if you're not in the armed forces or a spouse or law enforcement, you will not be able to come into the United States, specifically over the next 60 days.
Si no has visto el video desde el principio de lo que la abogada está hablando, básicamente, si no eres una enfermera, si no eres un policía, si no tienes nada que ver de todo eso de lo que pertenezca, no podrás entrar al país por aproximadamente 60 días o lo que el presidente Donald Trump lo vaya a tener.
So, Vanessa, that's what I wanted to come on and share with the folks today. And so our position is, if you are in a position to petition for a family member that is here, or if you are in a position where you can apply for citizenship, our advice would be to do so as quickly as possible.
Y básicamente lo que la abogada les recomienda es que si estás en la posición de hacerte ciudadano, si quieres pedir a un familiar, ahora es el mejor momento porque no están haciendo las órdenes consulares, y te lo recomienda mucho en que pidas a un familiar, te hagas ciudadano o cualquier proceso de inmigración que quieras hacer. Nosotros estamos aquí para ayudarte.
Vanessa, is there anything that you wanted me to discuss while we're on today based on the cases that we have been working on?
No, but basically people are talking a lot about the stimulus check, and if they're married to an immigrant, they're not entitled to the check.
They're not entitled to the check. The other thing is that, we have clients that are detained. And so we have been submitting requests to have them released in the midst of COVID-19. And I guess we're still waiting, correct? Vanessa, yes. We're still waiting.
Nuestra firma tiene muchos órdenes para poder sacar a las personas que están detenidos. Por ejemplo, tenemos un cliente que está detenido en Irwin Detention y estamos sometiendo las órdenes, pero hasta el momento estamos esperando una respuesta. Eso es de lo que habla la abogada Montgomery. Yes, that's what I just explained, that we're submitting and waiting for, that we have submitted the motions, but we're waiting for an answer.
Right. But I can tell you that there are other attorneys countrywide that have indicated that they too have submitted petitions and they have not been successful, especially if they have criminal backgrounds. If you have a family member that is detained that has a criminal background, they are absolutely not letting those folks out because of COVID-19. Now, so Scott Pilgrim is asking.
Por algunos compañeros que tiene la abogada, ella también nos deja saber que han sometido las mociones, pero no han tenido ninguna respuesta, especialmente si tienen un récord criminal.
Okay, I'm sorry. I saw a message on Instagram. Scott_Pilgrim069 says, what about Canadians and their spouses? Are they in the United States or are they trying to come into the United States?
It's a good question.
So I would need to know that answer so that I can be able to correctly tell you what's going on. What we know is that the southern border has absolutely been cut off. We haven't heard anything too much, but my understanding is that they have cut off the borders on both sides, Scott_Pilgrim. And so we're talking about northern and southern. And so what we have been told is that if you do not fall into the categories that I just listed, if the person doesn't fall into those categories, then they're not going to be able to come in. Now, if you are a U.S. citizen and your spouse is a Canadian, then yes, you will be able to come back in. Yes.
Para las personas que quieren preguntar acerca de Canadá, si, como la abogada menciona, si tú eres ciudadano y la persona que vas a pedir vive en Canadá, eso no te afecta en esta orden ejecutiva, y lo que sabemos que las fronteras del norte y el sur son las que han sido canceladas y nadie puede entrar por el momento.
So I can tell you right now, so based off of, I'll give you some numbers as to what we're seeing. Trump's proclamations favors immigration from, oh no, if the paper hasn't been worked on, then no, they cannot come. They absolutely can't come. I'm sorry. So Trump proclamation will block relatively few immigrants from Western Europe, Canada, and Australia, while blocking relatively more immigrants from Asia, Africa, Central America, and Eastern Europe. And so it breaks down the numbers. Canada will only be blocked 9%, okay? But Western Europe, 15%. Australia, New Zealand, 25%. Mexico, 27%. And so let me break those numbers down for you a little bit further. So Canada, 9% equates to 910 applications. Western Europe, 4,916 applications. Australia and New Zealand, 856 applications. Mexico, 44,415 applications will be blocked. South America, hi, Billy Jeff. Thanks for joining us on Instagram. We are talking about the immigration executive order that was signed by the president today. And we have discussed who is excluded, who is exempt, and how we're moving forward in the next 60 days. So South America, 22,648 applications will be blocked. Middle East, South and East Asia, 135,000 applications will be blocked. Central America, 84,000 applications will be blocked. Africa, 44,000 applications will be blocked. Eastern Europe, 24,000 applications will be blocked. So that shows you that this executive order really is going to favor Western Europe and Canada. So just to give you guys an idea, if your family members fall into one of these countries or one of these blocks, understand that there is going to be a delay in all applications. So that means no visits. Scott _Pilgrim, no visits at this time, especially not over the next 60 days. Our position is to stay put for right now. Go ahead.
Ahorita la abogada estaba mencionando algunos de los países y cuántas visas aproximadamente serán bloqueadas. Ella dijo que aproximadamente en Canadá 9% de visas han sido bloqueadas. Europa son aproximadamente 4,000. México tiene 44,000 aplicaciones bloqueadas. Centroamérica son 84,000. África 44,000. Asia 834,000. Y si estás basado en uno de estos países, son las aplicaciones que por el momento serán bloqueadas, excepto alguna parte de Canadá. Was it Canada and which ones that were not going to be blocked?
Canada, Western Europe, and Australia and New Zealand.
Australia, Zelandia serán algunas de las que no serán bloqueadas. Los países.
Exactly. And so when we're talking about visas or number of green cards that will be blocked, these are based on family-based petitions.
Y todas estas aplicaciones de la que abogada menciona que han sido bloqueadas no solamente son visas, sino también son peticiones familiares.
Employment-based immigrants.
Cosas acerca del trabajo, visas.
Diversity visas.
Visas de diversidad.
Parents of U.S. citizens.
Padres de ciudadanos.
Those are the folks that will get their applications blocked mostly.
Y esas aplicaciones serán las más bloqueadas con esta orden ejecutiva.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Alma on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. We are wrapping up, but I just wanted to just kind of hit a couple of the points that we discussed today.
Algunos de los puntos que quiere volverles a mencionar, ya que nos queda un poquito de tiempo.
Over the next 60 days, because of this suspension of immigration,
en aproximadamente los 60 días que va a durar esta suspensión,
over 52,000 green card applications will be blocked.
Aproximadamente 52,000 aplicaciones de visas y peticiones serán bloqueadas.
Be advised that consular process has already been stopped.
Tengan en cuenta que órdenes consulares también han sido paradas.
Border restrictions are already in place.
órdenes fronterizas también ya están siendo en cuenta.
Visa suspensions are already in place.
Y también visas también están siendo suspendidas.
Refugee admission is already on pause.
Órdenes de refugiados también están en pausa.
But if you are in the United States, and I actually did a breakdown, and I actually didn't even go over this, Vanessa. If you're able to answer yes to all the following statements, you will be impacted. Are you outside of the United States?
La abogada va a decir unas preguntas y si tú contestas sí a todas estas preguntas, serás impactado con esta orden ejecutiva.
Okay. Are you outside of the United States? If you answer yes, you will be impacted.
Si estás afuera de los Estados Unidos y tu respuesta es sí, serás afectado con esta nueva ley.
Are you applying for a green card?
¿Estás aplicando para una tarjeta verde?
Yes, you will be impacted.
Sí, también te afectaría.
Is your immigrant visa issued on or after April 23rd, 2020?
April 23rd, 2020.
Today.
Si tú sometiste una visa inmigrante después de abril 23 del 2020, serás impactado.
Yes, you will be impacted.
Sí, serás afectado.
Was your immigrant visa obtained because of any of the following?
Si tú obtuviste tu visa inmigrante por alguna de las que ya mencionamos.
You have a child who is in the United States.
Tienes un niño que está en los Estados Unidos.
You have a sibling who is in the United States.
Tienes algún hermano que está en los Estados Unidos.
You have a parent who is a United States citizen and you are over 21 years of age.
Tienes más de 21 años y tu padre es ciudadano.
Your employer petitioned for you.
Tu empleador te pidió.
All four of those will render you impacted by this suspension.
Todas esas últimas 4 que mencionamos también te afectará con esta orden ejecutiva.
If you are trying to come into the United States,
si estás tratando de venir a los Estados Unidos,
and you are a physician, a nurse, or other healthcare professional,
es algún doctor, enfermera o algún tipo de que mencione de doctor,
to perform medical research,
para hacer trabajos enfermerizos,
to combat the spread of COVID-19,
para parar el coronavirus,
or to perform essential work,
o para trabajar como empleador esencial,
trabajador, to alleviate the effects of COVID-19,
para aliviar el trabajo del coronavirus,
then you're fine.
Entonces estarás bien.
If you are not seeking to enter the U.S.
Can you repeat that one more time?
If you're not seeking to enter the U.S.
Si no estás pensando entrar a los Estados Unidos con esa visa inmigrante,
then you're fine.
Entonces no te afectaría.
All right. If you are a part of law enforcement,
si eres alguna del trabajo de cualquier tipo policial,
then you're fine.
Entonces estarás bien.
If it has been determined that you're entering for national security interests, you are fine.
Si estás determinado que es por orden de seguridad nacional, tampoco te afectaría.
If you're not one of the ones that I have listed, then you do not qualify to come into the United States.
Si no eres de algunos que ella mencionó, no te afectaría que tú entres a este país.
Hey, Lola, thanks for joining us. And we are wrapping up, guys. Vanessa, thank you for your time this evening. I hope that it was helpful to the people, but I wanted to make sure that we got this information over. Club Classic, thank you so much for joining us on Facebook. My name again is Attorney Judith Montgomery of the Atlanta Family and Immigration Law Firm. Vanessa is my immigration paralegal, and she was kind enough to come on this evening to translate for me. And so, Vanessa, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Guys, if we can be of assistance to you, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 678-601-5580. The website is scrolling at the bottom, www.immigration atlfamilyimmigrationlaw.com. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that this information was valuable to you as you continue to make a decision on how to move forward for the best interest of your family for immigration purposes. Have a good one, okay?
Gracias. Bye.
Thank you.